Shalom. All praise, honor, and glory is due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, even elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. This is the brother Shakal. From a Lowell GMS affiliate camp. And this is going to be a video lesson on famine. Specifically, a famine in Babylon, the Great America. Because famine will hit here in America. Lamentations chapter 4. And verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that are slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. So famine is no peachy way to die. And you will see people, your neighbors, even family members, dying of famine in America. So prepare to see this. If I may read this again, Lamentations chapter 4, verse 9. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger, for these pine away, stricken through for want of the fruits of the field. And you can do research on what famines have been like in the past. I should do more research myself even. There are famines in the scriptures. I may even just pull up an account, but I want to focus on Babylon the Great. This is Revelation chapter 6. And verse 8. I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth. Which the fourth part of the earth, this side of the earth, mainly dealing with America. To kill with sword and with hunger. So it says, so there's famine. And with death and with the beasts of the earth. So, this is the time of Jacob's trouble. And we read it's better to be slain with the sword than with hunger. So it's going to be a dark time here in America, Babylon the Great. Famine is approaching. Now, picture, I'm going to read an article and picture what, actually, let me read verse 6 in this. Revelation chapter 6 and verse 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny. And a measure of wheat is enough for a loaf of bread. And a penny is a day's wage. So it might, this hyperinflation and famine. which you can look those terms up. And this will be in America, Babylon the Great. A loaf of bread might cost $2, $3, $4, $500. So imagine what the is going to be like for the average American citizen who rely on this system to eat and provide for themselves. And all the violence that will be happening in stealing and robbing while there's a lack of bread. So let's read this article. Famine in northern Gaza. This is from CNN. Titled, Famine in northern Gaza is imminent as more than 1 million people face catastrophic levels of hunger. New report warns. So I'm bringing this out to show you, to give you a reference point on what it will be like in Babylon the Great. Just an idea, and also to see that this is a reality in certain parts of the earth right now as we speak. Famine is imminent in northern Gaza, where 70%, which is in the Middle East area, where 70% of the population are already suffering with catastrophic levels of hunger. A UN-backed report said Monday, as the EU's top diplomat accused Israel of using starvation as a weapon of war. And check that out, it said accuse Israel of using starvation as a weapon of war. So, the elites can use starvation as a weapon of war in Babylon the Great, which they will be used by the Most High to fulfill His will, His word, which we just read in the scriptures. So you can't have a mindset of well, the crops are still growing and things like that. Well, famine can be ushered in by a source of power, which the elites have the power. Now, I didn't do so much research to find out if Israel is really using starvation as a weapon of war, but I would not hold it above them. So you'll see hyperinflation in food stores, food off the shelves. Second Ezra chapter 6 verse 22. And suddenly, it reads, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. So you go in the store and you see that there's no food on the shelves. This is the reality that will soon hit America, Babylon the Great, the fourth part of the earth. So imagine what that's going to look like in America. People will die of famine. The bones touching the skin, even fat people, in eating all types of stuff you wouldn't normally eat, people going crazy, robbing each other. This is the grim reality within the scriptures. But the hopeful elect, we don't have anything to worry about. As it says, my servant shall eat, and ye shall be hungry. Isaiah chapter 65, verse 13. Therefore thus saith Yahweh Bashmil shall power, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. So, us as the hopeful elect, we don't have anything to worry about. Now we serve Yahweh Bashmil Shai in fear and trembling. And we hope the famine comes soon. We see many accounts in the scriptures of famine and how the Lord Yahweh Bashmil Shai preserved Israel in certain cases. Like Elijah in Daniel. Or not necessarily in famine, but in times where food was in doubt, I should say. Which I'll probably pull out the account, Lord willing, to make that clear what I said. For edification. But I want to continue in this article because the point is on Babylon the Great. All 2.2 million people in Gaza do not have enough food to eat. So imagine the millions of people in America not having enough food to eat. The average house can't pay for food, working all day for a loaf of bread, can't feed their children. No food on the shelves. A lot of people will take the MOTB, probably in hopes of finding food. And even then, they're just going to struggle with the cancer, the noisome, grievous sore. And they'll be missile food is what they'll be. So there's something to keep in mind. Because time of the MOTB. Let's keep reading. With half the population of the brink of starvation and famine projected to arrive in the north anytime between mid-March and May 2024, according to the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification. Acute hunger and malnutrition have already far exceeded the threshold for famine in northern Gaza, and the IPC warns of a major acceleration of death and malnutrition. So this is what's coming to Babylon the Great. You see, maybe seen the commercials on TV with the starving African children. Well, it's going to be starving modern-day Babylonian children or American children, so to say. Now I'm going to read two more and then be done the points in the second paragraph from here. This is the highest number of people facing catastrophic hunger ever recorded anywhere, anytime by the IPC, said United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres. At least 25 people, including children and babies, have died from starvation and dehydration in the north, according to the Ministry of Health in Gaza. So Americans aren't above famine. Americans are not the godly people, they're the most ungodly people ever seen. And many will suffer and perish of famine. People have resorted to scavenging. Here's the point I wanted to make. People have resorted to scavenging, eating grass and animal feed, and drinking polluted water. So this is what people are doing, eating grass and scavenging. So in America, you can expect people to start eating the grass. This is how bad it's going to get. Again, hyperinflation. No food on the shelves. And you can bet your bottom dollar that the wicked Israelites, I should say wicked Israelites, are going to die of famine. Esau, I would not be surprised if Esau in his manner sends troops around the hoods in the housing projects and just completely starves them out. I wouldn't be surprised. So the elect will need miracles in that day and need the names Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, or Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and to trust in these scriptures and His word. Which is why it's important to serve the Lord and keep the commandments and put your best foot forward or forth. Not to say it's like a down payment, basically, on being able to be fed in these times. Because all the people who want to be at the so-called church and in these other philosophies and in the world, and into their woman, to not be in the truth, these are the people that will die of famine, along with the other heathen nations. And it will be worth it for the elect in that time, being able to be fed in famine. While you have Americans eating grass, you can just imagine it. Probably, the NYC big rats, people trying to eat all the big rats. I can see it. People eating grass. People eating people, like cannibalism. In the past famines, people have eaten their children. It says starving mothers are unable to produce enough milk to feed their babies, and parents beg for infant formula at overwhelmed health facilities, parents and doctors told CNN. So you can expect American news and American programs to be set up to enforce the CHIP, the CHIP, MOTB, the mark, Karagma, so that people run to that for the safety net, for the false hope to be fed and to be taken care of. Which maybe it will take care of some, but it's not even a sure taken care of. And we already know, according to Revelation 16:2 and Revelation 14:9-10, that you will receive a noisome and grievous sword like a cancer, and you'll be burned in the nuclear fire if you're in Babylon the Great. And I'm actually going to read this one more. The crisis has been described as entirely man-made and preventable due to Israel's throttling of aid and widespread destruction of Gaza. The report said famine conditions will spread unless there is an immediate cessation of hostilities and full aid access granted to the Strip. So famine could be man-made. And if it's from the inside, how much more easy could that be? Shutting down power grids, orchestrating disasters like the ship and the trains. Ushering in the digital system in a CHIP to only way to buy food. Other countries could shut off import and exports with the Armageddon in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, World War III approaching. It's about to look grim in America. Not that it won't in all over the earth, but America's a main focus. And it shows you that these Americans will not be untouched, as it said in the fourth part of the earth, or so the fourth part of the world. I forget which word it used in the scripture. So you can't say this scripture happened 1,000, 2,000 years ago because it said the uttermost part, which is dealing with America, or mainly America. Now, I don't want to make this too long. I probably already made it kind of long, but not very. But I said I would pull up that account. Bel and the Dragon, chapter 1, verse 34. But the angel of Yahweh Bashmil Shai said unto Habakkuk, Go carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. So you can imagine Daniel in the lion's den and Habakkuk just living just in the stages of life that they're at. Daniel in the lion's den and Habakkuk, where he was walking around or whatever he was doing. It said, But the angel of Yahweh Bashmil Shai said unto Habakkuk, Go carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who is in the lion's den. And Habakkuk said, Yahweh, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is. So Habakkuk didn't know where Daniel was. And you can imagine Daniel is in a position of difficulty. Then he didn't know how he would eat. I mean, imagine you in the lion's den. This should build your faith. Then the angel of Yahweh Bashmil Shai took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit set him in Babylon over the den. So these things could happen in this time, just like it happened back then. So let's say you end up in a prison cell. Or let me read this first. And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, Daniel, take the dinner which Yahweh hath Bashmil Shai sent thee. So Daniel was fed in his situation. So if we have to leave our family and flee into the wilderness, or if we get sent, what's the word I'm looking for? Not traded, but I can't find a word, but if our families or someone basically ter- um I really can't think of the word Slovakia. They basically rat on us and calling the government troops on us, and we end up in a position that we end up in a prison or a concentration camp, even in like a solitude confinement situation. We got to keep the faith, and this should build your faith right here. An angel of Yahweh Shai had bring Habakkuk to feed Daniel in the lion's den. So we got to believe these things. Believe will be very powerful in the times to come. And so hopefully this helps you so you will not consent to what the devil's plans and his tricks up his sleeve, because you know the scriptures. And you know that whatever position you're in, Yahweh Shai can feed you. And if he can feed you, what else miracles can he do for you? You can never limit Yahweh Shai. Only his word, he must fulfill his word. So what the Most High will do is he will do his word. So he said he's going to bring famine on the uttermost part of the earth, and that's what people will die of hunger, to be specific. That's what he's going to do. He's going to send nuclear missiles on this place, 200 million warheads. The Most High will send 200 million warheads on America. He could make, I'm just speaking as a man, but he could make warheads, nuclear missiles out of thin air. There could already be a bunch set up, but I'm just speaking as a man. So, let me pull up another account. First Kings chapter 17 verse 1, and I'll only read a couple verses. And Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, As Yahweh Shai power of Israel liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. And the word of Yahweh Shai came unto him, saying, Get thee hence, that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. Verse 5, so he went and did according unto the word of Yahweh Shai. So that's powerful right in there. It said, so he went and did according to the word of Yahweh Shai. It's a word to do the same thing. That's obedience. For he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. And the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. And I'm going to keep reading a little more. So the Most High had ravens bring him bread and flesh, and he drank of the brook. So how much more in these times as well? And it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. And the word of Yahweh Bashem Yoshai came unto him, saying, Arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. So the Most High could send an angel in a vision to us. He could send a person to sustain us. He could have animals feed us. He could have us sustained without even eating any real food. Or food that food that you would normally eat, like chicken and bread. He could just keep you satisfied. Like you ate, but you don't even need to eat or something. Is the faith we have to have in these times, and the trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. The Most High is bringing all these things to America, and He's going to keep His elect, and ultimately deliver them when Yahweh Shai returns. He sent His Son to deliver the elect, and to bring fire and destruction. And then to conquer the earth. So the main thing, don't take the chip when you see people are dying of famine, don't bug out and don't take the chip. Or you know your destiny, you know your fate. And so the elect will be delivered. With that, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Bahashem HaKadosh, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone of our will. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.